walls, all the way up to the 10-foot ceiling, were covered in rich, dark red velvet. Shoes sank deep into the pile of the soft carpet. The lamps, all ceiling inlaid, could dim or brighten at the touch of a button. Less obvious, not obvious at all to me until I did my own experiments, was the room's harmless nature. Harmless in the specific sense that a person in the room would find nothing to permit self-damage or self-slaughter. Left to explore the room, as I had been free to explore it, any visitor would finally conclude that everything was innocuous with the exception. The eyes of Carmelo Diaz ever and always came back to me, of the occupant. I had no pen, of course, to sign anything, nor would he have. Guards would be brought in to provide a writing instrument if we reached some kind of agreement. That was a large if. I folded the 3 sides of paper and handed them back to Diaz. A model of vagueness, if you don't mind my saying so. The state wishes me to give certain specific information. If I provide it, then certain vague concessions will be offered to me as a quid pro quo. It was written that way at my request. Given the setting, Carmelo Diaz seemed too much at ease. I wondered if he had been here before, dealing with others on the threshold of the chamber of Morpheus. The innocent blue eyes in that rounded Celtish skull told me nothing. Apparent innocence itself meant less than nothing, and all first impressions based on appearances alone are likely to be deceiving. I, for instance, have features and build that appear somewhat coarse, even loutish, while my nature is both sensitive and finicky. No 2 humans are identical, he went on. Your needs and wishes do not match those of the next man. You and I need room to maneuver, a freedom to negotiate. Freedom is hardly a term that I would apply to my situation. Can you offer me freedom? You know I cannot. There was a certain blunt charm to Father Carmelo Diaz. I could imagine that under other circumstances he might make a fine dinner companion. It must be one factor in his presumed successes. So what can you offer me? Why don't we first confirm what the state asks of you? And when I said nothing, it is really very little. Your trial provided overwhelming evidence that you murdered 15 people. We wish to know if there were more. What makes you think there might be? The chronological pattern. There are anomalously long gaps between cases 5 and 6, between 8 and 9, and between 12 and 13. Perhaps I was busy with other matters. I had to earn a living, you know. A man can't just go on having fun all the time. It was said to test him, and I was pleased to see that he did not wince. Do you have other suggested victims? I went on. It is hardly useful to propose gaps unless you have people to fill them. I suspect that you, Dr. Guest, know these statistics far better than I do, but let me state them for the record. It was his first suggestion that we were being recorded, though I of course had assumed it. Confining ourselves to this population area alone, he went on, an average of 30,000 14-year-olds run away each year. Most return home in due course, but close to 1/6 of them remain unaccounted for. Of those, let us assume that only 1 child in 1,000 possesses that standard of physical beauty which satisfies your apparent need. There would still be a suitable candidate every couple of months whose permanent disappearance would be indistinguishable from all the rest. The thing I liked about Carmelo Diaz was his matter-of-fact manner. No weeping and wailing and accusations from him about the poor, helpless, doomed children. No suggestions that I was the devil incarnate. It made me wonder if deep inside he carried the same needs. He was deliberately and successfully matching his speech patterns to my own. I didn't let any of this influence me. I learned long ago how easy it is.